Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dokkan battle video. And today I want to do another kind of like a Glorio team showcase. Showcasing certain characters on his team because Glorio just makes everybody crazy, insanely busted. And I want to try out this combination of Nail and Piccolo. Like Nail is insanely good. Like Nail's crazy. The problem is finding a Piccolo good enough to run with him because he needs a Piccolo specifically, right? To me, the two best Piccolos in the game are Physical Easy A Piccolo and then Orange Piccolo, right? There is the LR Gohan exchange the Piccolo, but they're not considered a Namekian character because it starts as Gohan, so it's kind of wonky. Like, Nail doesn't get his full kit with that character. So, I wanted to try, because of Glorio's, like, support is so good, right? Can it make Physical Piccolo runnable? And so what we're doing here is we are running like literally the hardest content in the game with Nail and Piccolo. I think Nail like very easily does well in difficult content. It's just we need the Piccolo to run with him. Now the reason why I think we can get away with Physical Piccolo, I know like he is a defensive stacker, but like he will get crushed very early in fights and he doesn't stack the fastest, right? I think what makes Piccolo usable though is that he can get up to enough defense to at least survive normals and hard content. And because he carries a scouter with him, and there's the first phase done right away, right? Very quick here. Here we've got 17, and then we'll have, you know, locking and all kinds of shenanigans now moving forward. But we'll see how we can do here. So I have Nail and Piccolo separate, right? So we need to get them together. Glorio gets locked in slot 1. That actually can be okay. I'm debating whether to keep Nail on rotation or float him to get him with Piccolo sooner. Like they got separated like really far, right? So I'm really thinking about how I want to do this. Glorio luckily does have some dodge in his kit, so even in slot 1, he's not necessarily dead, but definitely he could get supered and die here, right? So let's see here. So yeah, 400k normal. So like Glorio needed a dodge there to live. So we got a dodge from Glorio. Survived that locking turn there. Now Glorio's going to put up some damage. That's what he does. Glorio's crazy. And I think this friend Glorio I'm running is a rainbow one. Now, he's not in slot 3, so we don't get the support. So yeah, this fight's annoying for a lot of reasons, because like we want the Glorio support in slot 3, but we can get locked out of it, right? So I definitely want to try some more runs with this team, but the fact that I'm able to get through with a Piccolo Nail rotation in the hardest content right here, tells me that they're viable, right? Now, some people you'll see later in the video here. Nail at 5 million. The big thing with this team is we get to Frieza and Goku at the end, right? And they have that damage threshold. Piccolo and Nail will never be able to damage him, right? But the idea with them is that even if we have to go slower at the end, that they just get so defensively stacked up that it doesn't matter. And then Tech Ultimate Gohan, once again, another really good stacking unit. But what I find is like Nail and Tech Ultimate Gohan are very parallel units. They stack defense incredibly quick. It's just Nail doesn't have the built-in guard that Gohan does, but Nail's defense gets to like to the moon and beyond, like very quickly. We will see Nail's defense get insane. I did a video with Nail earlier just to showcase after his EZA, and on a 170 team, because I think this is Nail's first 200% lead, by the way. Yeah, I had Nail up to like 4 million defense at the end of a fight. Like, it's crazy. All right, so here's Piccolo. So now the big X factor with Piccolo is we have Scouter. And we can see here that we are not getting supered in this turn. Now, I do use Gohan's active skill just to be safe here. We probably would have been okay, though, because we're taking all normals. I probably could have saved Beast there, but our health was getting a little bit low, and I'm like, I don't know, if Tech Ultimate Gohan gets supered, maybe he gets killed. So I figured let's just play it safe. Tech Ultimate Gohan, though, is probably just going to take him out. Yeah, so probably did not need to use Beast active skill there, so that was a mistake that I made. That may be, like, I mean, you get the right turn, where, like, if Beast is around on maybe a turn where Physical Piccolo can't handle something, we can lock, right? But you're going to see, like, Physical Piccolo got in a bad spot where, like, we're barely getting to super with him. So that's the hard part is, I think, you know, when you're running a team like this with Piccolo and Nail, you definitely, I think, we're going to see here, I think they're capable of beating any fight or most fights in the game. Obviously, the really short ones like Gogeta, Janemba, they're just not built for that. Like, they have to be in something where they can build up a little bit. But but there's more RNG, right? Like what decides whether a unit's better or not is when it needs less RNG to win. Units that are just like, yep, I'm going to tank everything no matter what, turn one, which there aren't many that can do that, but there are some. Those are the types of units like, Carnival Tech Broly. Like RNG doesn't affect him too much. He just like, he kills everything and he blocks everything. Like that's what LR Tech Carnival Broly does. But let's look at Nail here. Doing his thing. Once again, his attack stat isn't going to get too crazy. Although 6 mil is pretty good for Nail. Considering we got a 200% lead and we're going to start to get some Glorio support because we finally start floating some Glorios here. But what's going to happen is in the Goku Frieza phase with this particular team build, Glorio can damage him and Tech Ultimate Gohan can, because Tech Ultimate Gohan keeps stacking his attack. And actually, I think in this video, I don't even know that I even bothered going into Ultimate Gohan. I might like right at the end. But there's really no reason not to just keep stacking in the Z-Sword Gohan mode, right? You just keep stacking with him. And he just gets crazy. Alright, so 17 in gold and Frieza, they're going to try to attack Glorio here. Glorio's just going to tank it like a boss. Because this is why Glorio is so insane. Because not only does he have huge dodge chance, but he literally gets up to millions and millions of defense and just can flat out tank stuff. Like, they just made him so good, and he's supporting, and he's dishing out a ton of damage. He literally has basically everything. He's a damage dealer, he's a support, and he's a tank. He does everything. So here we've got our Beast Gohan in slot 1. This is the ideal rotation I like setting up. This is what I want. I want Beast in slot 1 to tank. Tech Ultimate Gohan in slot 2, and then Tech Ultimate Gohan picks up some really good links from Glorio when Glorio's floating, mainly Cold Judgment to get a bunch of defense, right? So I think this is ideally, and then you have the Piccolo Nail rotation, and then you are probably going to have to put Nail in slot 1, but if you can, get him a few stacks, Nail can sit in slot 1 against a lot of content in the game. All right, so Beast. And I think we might finish this phase this turn. We'll see. So this is why, like, Physical Piccolo doesn't look great in this run at all. Because you saw we had to float him on his first turn. He didn't get to attack because he was in slot 3. So Piccolo's literally coming out raw against Goku and Frieza in the last phase here, pretty much, is what's going to happen, without any stacks. So they're going to look really rough. I think on a different type, and I want to do more runs with Nail and Piccolo just to see how viable they are, but I think on this Glorio team, it is viable. Now, the second we get a brand new Piccolo, yeah, I'm probably going to take Physical Piccolo off the team, but I want a reason to run Nail. Like, Nail is one of my favorite EZAs they've done. Like, Nail is so good. And we just need that really insane Piccolo to run with him. Okay, and I think, Ultimate Gohan does finish there, which is, I guess, good and bad. It's bad because we could have gotten, like, a free stack. But yeah, look at this. We're on Goku and Frieza, the last phase. Physical Piccolo is just, like, not in a good spot right now. He's only at 360-something K defense. Nail, on the other hand, has millions of defense. So I'm confident that Nail, he's 1.4 million defense, right? And he's got guard here. So Piccolo's got two things going against him. He's type disadvantage, and he hasn't really stacked. So I am using a Whis here. Now, I know a lot of the community gets really caught up in, like, not using items and no item runs. But I really think it's okay to use items. The events were built to use items. I want to try to get a no item run done. But because of the RNG with Piccolo, now if I get Piccolo, say like turn 1 on rotation stacking from the very beginning, then we can maybe get away with no items. Because remember, all we need is Piccolo to be able to not die from normals. Now, Goku and Frieza, though, with type advantage, normals are probably still going to hurt pretty bad. So you're going to see right here with the Whis how much damage Piccolo takes. So Piccolo at 9 million. Once again, this is his first attack of the video. And then once again, you can get bad RNG where like he just gets additional normals. He doesn't get any additional supers here. So that was really unlucky. And then Piccolo there, he is taking double-digit normals though with the Whis. So that tells me, if we have no Whis, but he had properly stacked up a bit, I could even transform with him. Because the thing with Piccolo is he's always got the Scouter. So you don't need Piccolo to tank a super. You're going to know where the super is. So you just get Piccolo enough to tank normals, and you just put him in front of normals. And as long as Piccolo is strong enough for normals, you can be fine. And that's the thing I think people underestimate about Piccolo. They look at him and they say he's not defensive enough, you know, for a lot of the content, but really he never is going to have to take a super because it's never going to surprise you. And that's the strength of the Scouter. And so that's maybe why I'm rating this Piccolo maybe a little bit higher than other people. And that's why I'm trying him over Orange Piccolo. I might do some runs with Orange Piccolo and see if I like him better. Because, I mean, with the Glorio support, Orange Piccolo is going to get crazy, and you still have the Orange Piccolo mode. Giant Orange Piccolo, though, literally does nothing against Goku and Frieza, other than you can use it to get a turn without being supered after it. So I guess that would be worth it, but he's not going to be able to damage him, right? So Piccolo units are just in a tough spot right now, where, like, you know, when physical Piccolo Easy Aid, like him and Orange Piccolo were like pretty top tier at the time, but they both have fallen off enough that's like, I don't really want to run either Piccolo right now. But I'm kind of weighing that Scouter is really like important for me right now. But I think it depends on the fight, right? Because most times Orange Piccolo I think is still good enough to run, and especially with the Glorio support. We may have to do a video on and take a look at how Orange Piccolo does. That's the nice thing too. It's like with a Piccolo on the team, you sometimes will actually get the unit super with Beast Gohan, which I really like because I very rarely get to see that. Now, when my rotations are set, I'm not really going to be floating any Piccolos, but early on in a fight, you might see a unit super from Beast, right? When the rotations aren't set. So here's Tech Ultimate Gohan at 12 million, and this is without getting hit. Remember, if he gets hit first, he gets a big attack buff. So like had I had, you know, Tech Ultimate Gohan in slot 1, he would have probably done enough damage with a crit to damage Goku and Frieza. But I'm okay with like doing a lot of zeros here and going slow, because now my stackers just get to stack more and they just get to be godly. So now I've gone through my one Whis, so now I'm not going to use any more Whis. That was just a really, like, literally worst case scenario for Piccolo, not really getting his first super attack until Goku and Frieza, right? That's pretty bad scenario there. So I used the Whis to help me through that. But remember, he's never going to have to take a super, because we know where it is. So we're going to get to the next turn. I'm going to no item the rest of this. Okay, we'll go, you know, Glorio, though. I mean, Glorio's like, yeah, I kind of want to damage. Goku and Frieza here a little bit. Now, even at 30 mil, he has to crit. Yeah, see, without a crit, because he's type disadvantage, 30 mil was not enough to damage, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, that was the Rainbow Friend Glorio. So he was putting up some damage. All right, so this turn here, we're going to put Nail in slot 1. What, nearing 3 million defense? Something like that? So, and he's type advantage here, so he's guarding. So now we're gonna test a couple of things. We're going to test Nail raw against the super. And once again, this is him just naturally stacking in the Goku and Frieza fight. He's pretty goated. So here goes Nail. What's Nail going to take here? Yeah, do double digits, man. Nail flat out just tanked it. No Whis was active there. Now, how does Piccolo handle normals is what I want to see here. This is without an item this turn. And remember, Piccolo only got like one super attack stack on the first turn. Because what this is going to show you, had I not had such bad luck with Piccolo and you got to do a couple of stacks before we got to this phase, this is what Piccolo is more likely to look like the first time he sees Goku and Frieza. So if this had been Piccolo on my previous turn, I wouldn't have needed an item. Let's see. Piccolo only got one super. There's another one. So this is Piccolo with 3 super attacks. I think it's reasonable that you can expect to have, you know, anywhere from 2 to 3 supers. And they're 117k normals, but he can live that, right? And that's all Piccolo needs to do. I know it's not impressive that he's taken 100k normals, but he's type disadvantage, right? But he has the Scouter. So in other fights where he's either type advantage or type neutral, he's going to be able to handle normals even better than that. And once again, if you're luckier and you get more stacking in ahead of time, I don't know. I think this is more viable than people think. I'm going to do some more runs with this Piccolo. You guys can let me know in the comments what you think. I think most people would agree Nail is actually pretty goated, dude. Like, this is the hardest fight in the game. And Nail naturally on this team got to like 3 million defense on Goku and Frieza and tanked for double digits. So like Goku and Frieza couldn't touch. Now where Nail's going to be weaker is like the Gogeta fight, the Janemba fight. These units just aren't built for that. You just don't run them there, right? But in any fight that's got a little bit of length to it, I mean, we're turn 9. So yeah, this is a pretty lengthy fight. We'll take it though. I think this is a fun version of the team you can run with Glorio. Now, obviously, Glorio has a lot of other units you can run for shorter fights. You definitely could run something with more like Boo units and stuff on it. There's a lot of good demonic power in the game, and there will be more coming. But I think this combination of getting some of like the best Gohans in the game with like that Nail Piccolo setup is kind of fun. You could, instead of Nail and Piccolo, just run like all Gohans, right? Because a really big Gohan I'm not running here is the Family Kamehameha Gohan. And he's definitely like a really good unit I could be running here. So I definitely, you know, if you don't think the Nail Piccolo strategy is viable, then take them off. Get the, you know, Family Kamehameha Gohan, and then just find another demonic power. Or once again, you have Battle of Wits and Accelerated Battle. Just most of the good units are only going to get 170. The list of Battle of Wits Accelerated Battle that actually gets the 200 is not very good. So if you're running outside of demonic power, you're probably running somebody at 170, which is still good enough if the unit's good enough, right? Still worth it. Here goes the Beast. And we're out of here. So there you go. I mean, so we beat it, and that was only, I think that was maybe like my second try. And the first try is because I chose not to use an item. But yeah, just we used one Whis to get by one set of normals, and that's all I needed it for was the normals on Piccolo there. But we saw, like I said, on the next turn, right? On the next turn after Piccolo used the Whis, Piccolo did tank the normals well enough, right? So let me know what you guys think. I think with better RG, maybe I'll do more runs of this and try to record them, but I want to try some other difficult content as well. But let me know if you think Nail and Piccolo is a viable strategy, or if you think I'm just crazy. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.